They are so dedicated and do such a great job, don't they? They come on. They come on Fridays to rehearse, and I usually like to come and listen, just to be here to listen. So there was this Sunday school teacher, and she gave the youth an assignment. She wanted them to learn by heart the 23rd Psalm. And so they went away, and some of them were able to memorize it, and they were able to come back and recite it, but they were going to have a special night where they would be reciting it to the adults. And so this one little boy just couldn't remember it. And he worried over it, and he tried, and he did everything he could to remember all of it. So finally, when it came up to be his turn that night when they were speaking in front of the adults, he just got up and said, "The Lord is my shepherd." And he stumbled a little bit, and he said, "You know, that's all I need to know. The Lord is my shepherd, and that's all I need to know." Isn't that cool? Speaking of summarizing big texts into just a few sentences, I think that is perfect, and that's exactly what it says. And so many times we complicate things, and that's all we need to remember. We've been talking several weeks about how to develop our faith, and our faith is just like any other muscle. It must be used in order to develop it. We must use it. It's not easy now. We remember that it's not always easy. It's difficult. Sometimes we'll go through a challenge. It looks like there is no answer. We may think we've tried everything, and we just can't deal with it anymore. We're just ready to give up and say, well, I guess there is no answer to this. And maybe that's the time we really do need to remember our faith. I was reading an article by another Unity minister that teaches out west, and he said he couldn't believe it. He had a time not too long ago where he had a really big decision to make. He said the problem was that it wouldn't just have implications for him, but it would also have implications for many other people. And so it was a big decision, and he needed to really be mindful about how he made it. And so he was sitting one day, and he thought, you know what? I can't believe this. I haven't prayed about it once. He said it caught him off guard. He couldn't believe the fact that he had this big decision to make, and he hadn't prayed about it once. He said he was ashamed to think about all the negative thoughts he'd had, all the things he'd been thinking about, if it goes this way, if it goes that way, if it goes the other way. And with all those thoughts, he hadn't thought to bring it to God. We sort of do that all the time, don't we? We just worry ourselves silly. And then we remember, now wait a minute. I think the Golden Key taught that we were supposed to put God on this problem. Anytime we have a problem, instead of just thinking about the problem all the time, we need to give it to God or put God on it, whatever works for you. Write it down, hand it as if you're handing it to God, and then let it go. I don't know how many of us that could work for, but it is certainly worth remembering, and do it every time you find yourself in angst over something. Hand it to God and expect a good outcome. If it's not good, it's not the end yet, okay? Expect a good outcome. you know that I enjoy walking in the morning when the weather is good enough. I love to get out early and will usually walk a couple of miles, and it just it's part of my day and makes me feel good. So, excuse me, one day last week I had been walking and hadn't even realized it, but I was, I guess I had been going over and over in my mind a particular problem I was thinking about with a family member that's facing a health challenge. And so I was thinking, well, you know, how you can do, just thinking about that. And I was coming just to the where Steve's restaurant there is at the marina. I was just walking around the curb and sitting right on top of the sand, and I'm sure it's where they had been pushing the sand up. We've had so much sand blowing in on the roads lately. They are routinely pushing the sand up, and it was a dime just sitting there ready for me to pick it up. Now, I know I've said that before, and people look at me like, you can't pick up that much money. You just can't. I'll make a picture of the money that I pick up while I'm walking, okay? You won't believe it. I've got a $20 bill, a $5 bill, a $1, 100, but it's not real. It was from a festival. I picked it up like it was real. Now, admittedly, yes, I walk usually along a commercial area where I'll walk down the main road there in Long Beach and then across to where the beach is, and they're, you know, down where they sell bait, down where the fishermen get out their pockets. They're not mindful. They drop dollars on, you know, they're thinking about going out catching that fish. It's what they're thinking about. And but I do, and maybe one of the reasons is I notice. Maybe I just notice more than others, but I usually, every time I'm out, I'll find a coin or two, whatever size it is. But this particular day, I was out walking around and thinking a lot about this particular issue, and there's this dime sitting there, so I reached down, picked it up, put it in my pocket, and when I got home, I put it a little bit away. I wanted to keep it separate because I have a couple that I've kept separate because I remember exactly what I was thinking about when that symbol was given to me, and that's the way I look at it. It's a symbol, it's something it's a sign that's given to me from God, that's mine. And so I've set them aside. And so later that day, I kept having the urge to look at that coin. I'm thinking, why? It's just a dime. So I got the magnifying glass, looked at it, and I said, oh, it was printed 1975. That's interesting. It's older. Maybe it had been sitting along the marina for a while before it was dug up. I don't know. And then I started to walk away, and I got an urge, no, look again. And so, look again, and right across are the words, "In God we trust." And I knew the minute I saw those words, they were meant for me. I said, okay, I finally get it. Because as I was walking and sort of worrying about that issue and how it would turn out, I know that I was not doing what I said to do and to have faith and to turn that over to God. I was doing the opposite. So, no matter what you think about whether those words ought to be on that coin, okay, I'm not talking about that. That's not a discussion about that at all. It's just that was my sign given to me that day. And it was a reminder, we trust in God. And so I remembered that, and I've set that coin aside, and I have some that I've set aside. I have another one that I found one day when I was worrying about a friend, and I was worrying, no doubt. I'll admit to that. And I shouldn't have been. And then just a reminder to me, turn this over to God. Turn this over to God. So I said this week, too, that beyond talking a few minutes about